Stephanie with Teaquilts, and today is January 1st, 2022. So happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully you all are having a great first day of the year. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to wait for more people to come into this live chat. So I'm going to pull you all up. I got you pulled up. No, I got my phone on YouTube. And that's my reminder telling me to go live. Let's see. So we got a lot of people already in here chatting, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to close it and open it back up since my screen likes to play little games with me sometimes. So thank you all so much for coming on your first day of the year here. I have been busy doing other stuff. Actually did just a tad of desk work. I went to, I hope that the people that have seen my post about if you have used my Accuquilt share a sale link for buying items from Accuquilt, let me make sure my volume is on. Okay, just making sure. Haven't gotten any messages about volume. Just make sure that you send me an email with your name, should be in the email, and the date of your orders from October 1st through December 31st, 2021, and then your order ID number. I have a post in the community post on my page on YouTube, and I also have a post on my Facebook page. So make sure you check that, send that to me. You only have till January 4th to send me that information. I have already printed off a list of all the sales that have come in during that period. And so when those items match up with what I have on my sheet here, I will just write your name in. And every time I write your name in on this sheet, you will be entered into a drawing. And I think I'm just going to leave for right now what I'm going to do for a drawing, because I haven't fully decided what yet, but I do know what I would like to do. So that's where I'm going to leave it for right now. Just a mystery drawing for those people that have used my Accuquilt links. Okay, so let's see who's in the room. I'm not going to read word for word today, but I will just let you all know who's here. I see Bonita and Dee Dee going, I think this is Miss Crochet. I couldn't find a photo I was looking for because I'm still working on these. And apparently, because I went live impromptu, this is on my iPad. I normally schedule all of my lives on my cell phone. So I did not have a photo to upload today. So Miss Crochet, it is. So we're not going to be dealing with Miss Crochet today, though. But that is Miss Crochet. So we've got Margaret Dearden, Dee Dee Hansen. Let me pull this over just a little so I'm reading more towards this way. Of course, Bonita Nance I already read. She's also reminding people to hit that thumbs up button. You can go out and come back in. Ellen Campbell. Hi, Ellen. I saw your live today. I used it for my background noise today, so that was pretty cool. She was doing some hand tying of a quilt. Maddie Barnum. Teresa McCormick. And a lot of you all are saying Happy New Year, but I'm going to just skip through some of that. Judy L., Dee Dee Hansen, Judy L., Vivian Cavey. Let's see. Elizabeth Hewitt says, hey, T, and hi, everyone. Linda Fousey. I don't know if it's Fousey or Faust. Talking to Ellen. Sheila Willis. Connie is here. Janice Miller. Joyce Burrow. She just joined the Facebook group, so thank you for joining the Facebook group. I do have a Teaquilts LLC Facebook group. When you join, please answer the 3 questions so I don't have to go do research on you to make sure that you're not a spammer. You'll get in a lot quicker. So, Elizabeth's talking to Ellen. Dolores Phelps is here. Darlene Crosby. Avita M. Nancy Gus. I think she was on Ellen's chat too. Stephanie from Memoirs of a Longarm Quilter is here. Sandra Agger. Hey, Sandra. Ella Odom. Lisa Thompson's back, girl. It's 2 times in a row. That's my niece, y'all. Leetta Bryant. Diane 57. Vicki Lemire. Thank you, Sandra, for reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. Appreciate that. Slowing Down Joe is here. Teresa Jesuit. Quilt Gal. Judy. Patricia Carluccio. Agnes Jimenez. I don't know if you pronounced the J. Tom Eckery. My brother, Ray Mahone's here. Judy Plaster. Sharon Lewis. Barbara Polk. Tiffany of Tiffany's Quilting Life is here. Hey, Tiffany. And Teresa Louise, I quilt too. Hi, Teresa. Phyllis G. Joan Elkins also here. Julie Quilts. Kevin the Quilter goes, not today, Miss Crochet. Yes. And Elizabeth says that she got a surprise yesterday. Her husband got her a Juki for her birthday tomorrow. That's pretty awesome. Shirley Kessinger. And Joan says, I just watched you and Tiff and Eric on So Becca. Was interesting. Yes, I was going to talk about that too. I was on So Becca's channel. I got this card right in the middle of the screen. Maybe I think my iPad must be over too far. Hold on, guys. You're going for a ride. That card is my lights, so I can't like get rid of it completely. I was, So Becca invited me to be on her New Year's Eve live. She has lives every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so I was on there with, I want to say Ian, or is his name Ivan? I can't remember now. I'm such a doofus. We was on there with Teresa Louise, I Quilt Too, Tiffany's Quilting Life, Eric with Treasure Heart Creations, and So Becca and myself. We were all doing a live and just chatting about different topics and things coming up. Some of us were sewing, some of us were not, but it was a very fun chat. We were on, I don't know, about 2.5 to 3 hours, something like that. So it was very interesting. Bonita is going to be sewing while she listens. Lisa, my niece, is also reminding people to hit that thumbs up. Lizette Zayas is here. Let's see. I'm just trying to get a quick. Oh, like in house, so Faust. Okay, thank you. Because I know I got some people that pronounce that particular name different. So my sound is off. Okay, I think these people can hear me. Can you all hear me? Nobody has said they can't hear me. Okay, they can hear me here, so it must be your television, hon. My husband's so sweet. He came to tell me that I didn't have any sound. I'm like, I'm sure they would have told me by now. So thank you, guys. Patricia Bryan. She says, it's been a while since I was able to catch you live. Well, thank you for being here tonight. And Joyce is saying, thank you for accepting me into the Facebook group. Excited to be in a group this year. I sent you an email with Accuquilt purchases. Did I do it right? I haven't read any of those emails. I've just been putting a little asterisk on them because today was the first day that I actually did some desk work. And what I did was I went and downloaded all of the transactions from my account with ShareASale, so that as I start reading the emails, I can just put people's name in it. So if I don't find it or something like that, I'll send you an email and let you know that I didn't find your order. And most times I try to do a quick response to say I found it, you know. So we'll see. I'm hoping that once I downloaded the data that I can just do that on my cell phone, because those will be real quick emails and I'll just be saying got it or whatever, or I don't see it. It's going to be very quick because I communicate with so many people in emails. I don't ad-lib at all. I just get straight to the point and I'm in and out. So that's probably one of my, I would say one of the negative things about me, because I can write a little bit more in emails. But when I'm dealing with so many emails a day, I get burned out. And so for me to get through the whole list of emails that I do have, I have to just keep it brief so I can get through them. And the comments are still coming. I'm not even reading word for word, and it's already 8:11, and I'm still reading comments. Thank you, Tiffany. She's welcoming everybody joining the live, saying don't forget to give T a thumbs up. So thank you so much for that, Tiffany. Deborah Sims Brown is here. Damali J. Let's see. Jennifer Mazard. I saw your photo in Quilt Bill's Facebook group. She's working on clue number 6 and listening tonight. Thunder rumbling outside. We've had rain, sprinkles throughout the day. Hasn't thunderstormed or anything like that, but it's just been a wet mess today. So it's Off Kilter Crafter, Ian. I can't type. Yes, I thought his name was Ian, but I'm like, maybe it's Ivan. So thank you, Tiffany. Yes, and he's called the Off Kilter Crafter. So I don't know if he does quilting as well, but we shall see. I'm going to check him out. He seems like he's a wealth of information. So Linda DeVito is here. And Ben. Now I'm screaming at my husband. In the mic. Okay, I'm sorry. He fixed it, what the problem was. So it's like he's on the phone talking to his daughter. He's got her on speakerphone, and I can hear it coming through here. Carissa Reininger says joining from the, I don't know, hospital? I don't know. Are you at work? Hopefully. Paula Hoppengarner is here saying hello. Welcome to the channel, Paula. Appreciate you commenting. Or welcome to the live anyway. Yeah, there's tornado warnings in Tennessee. I saw where somebody had tornado warnings, and I wasn't sure what location it was, saying that it had flipped over a car. I just saw a photo, and I came in on the end of it. I have not listened to the news at all. I was up. I got in bed at midnight and didn't get to sleep till like 5 something because people were shooting guns all night. As soon as you think it would quiet down and somebody else would start. So, oh, so sorry, Carissa. You're in the hospital. Be praying for you. Praying you get better. Hey, Scott. Thanks, Tiffany. Kathleen Champ. I think I said her name, but I just want to make sure. I'm trying to get to the bottom here. Leisha Moe is here. Leisha, I sent you an email that I haven't had a response to. You emailed me about something I posted on Facebook, and then I responded back to you. You need to check for an email from me. Check your spam just in case. Rhonda Barlow is here saying hello, T and everyone. Joyful New Year. Yes. Got to always keep whatever's happening to you positive, and think about that whatever is happening could be 10 times worse. So I always pray for where I am and thankful for where I am, because things can be worse. My good days will always outlast my bad days. That's the main thing. June says, I don't know why that came out. Look, was supposed to be high. Because I'm like, okay. Hey, June, welcome to the channel. Thanks, Tiff. She's giving you all the link for the Facebook site as well. Now, I was on Sobecca's chat last night, as I discussed with you all. I was sewing these little units here. I had 80 units before I start. I'm just barely over like 110 units for these little hourglass units that I'm sewing for clue number 4, mind you. They're on clue number 6 on Quilt Bills. Mystery quilt. I don't know if I got one. Yeah. These little hourglass units, I'm still behind. Okay. Haven't gotten any further. Although I haven't sewn a stitch other than when I'm live with you all. So I sewed Tuesday and I sewed yesterday. I have been up to my elbows in cutting African fabric and mailing packages this week. So I haven't really had a lot of time for mailing. I did have, was it 2 or 3 more shipments of African fabric came in, and I got one more that's due in on Monday. The company, remember I showed you all last Saturday a fabric that had a hole, ended up having a hole in it. My hand ended up going through a hole. I didn't even see it, but my finger found it. So I sent that fabric back. They were really nice, and they sent me 2 new fabrics. And then I get my new order from them, because that's the fabric that I'm going to make my Take 5 kits from. They sent me my new order. They put the old fabric in that they resent me into my new order, and then I'm short 2 pieces of fabric from the new order. So yeah, that's why I'm not really like giving any names, because I don't have something that I can refer at this time. If I was giving out information, this company is not going to be one of them. So now I've got to go back and contact them again and tell them that the fabric that they sent me is just a bad batch of fabric, because the same thing, it doesn't have holes in it, but it's just not a good run of fabric. It's not very crisp. And so they sent me some more yardage, and then this yardage looks exactly the same, except that it doesn't have holes. And I would swear that one piece looks worse than the other piece. So I don't want any more of that fabric. I don't even know if I want to order more fabric from this company at this point. But I will be contacting them so they can figure out what they're going to do about the 2 that's missing completely from my order. And I haven't seen any credit. I guess I'll go check on PayPal and make sure. But yeah, this is too much work. I'm a solo business person, and so I can give a company chances, but they state on their website about quality control and stuff like that, but I don't see it. So that fabric is just bad. And Diane's also asking for prayers too. So prayers for Diane. Carrie Richard is here. Hi, Carrie. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you commenting as well. Patricia's saying I can't get clue 4. Can you help me out? I don't understand because clue 4 is just sitting. It's the same way you got the other clues. What I always do when I go to the page is the first thing that I click is it says read more. Because when you go to her blog, it's like little short excerpts of whatever she's posted. So I always click read more. And then I click printable, view printable page or something like that. I can't remember how it's worded. And then when I do that, I'm able to download the instructions that I need or print them. You can download or print. Hey, Kim Burris. I keep missing Kim's name because it's because she's a moderator and it's blue and I've been skipping those. So sorry, Kim. Welcome. She's one of my hard workers and I keep missing her name. Okay, print friendly PDF. Thank you, Jennifer. So that's what I click, and then I have no problems, and all of them come up exactly the same when I do it that way. So try it that way, Patricia, and then if not, just send me an email, and I'll try to help you out with that. Joy saying that her son is getting married this year and want to make a double wedding ring quilt. I have questions. On that, I bet you'll probably do better if you post that in the Teaquilts group and ask if, people over there, if they've ever made one. I cut some pieces for one that I haven't sold yet. I just made a kit. So I'm not going to be your total expert, but when I do mine, everything that I do with Accuquilt die cutting system. So I won't be cutting anything out. So I'm going to be a little different. So it just depends on what it is that you need. You might want to post that over on the Teaquilts group. Cynthia Shade is here from Chicago. And that's what Tiffany says. That's what I'm making this year for my daughter's wedding too. So, all right. So, I did have fabric, more African fabric come in. I didn't want to deal with that today, showing you all that. They are going to be, the most of that fabric is going into the Take 5 kits. I got a piece of fabric that is polyester. I ended up testing that fabric. It is polyester, but I'm going to keep it anyway. It came from a different company, not this same one. It came from a different place. But I love the fabric so well that I'm going to use it and make me a large tote bag. It is really pretty. So. Judy L saying, what is the brand of your steam press? I do have this particular steam press is not on Amazon. If you go click on my Amazon store, the link is in the description box. I do have the steam press that they had, unless it sold out right before Christmas. So you can check that. It's all there for you. I don't see the name right there, but it is the same brand I have. It's just a different model. And I think when we were on the live last night, people were talking about the steam press. And there is a difference between a steam press and a heat press. So just make sure you know what it is that you're wanting. I consider a steam press just to be a glorified iron. But it's not going to be an iron replacement. There's been so much going on, guys. I'm trying to load a customer's quilt on my Longarm today. And the customer told me that she thinks it's going to be close to king size, which was fine. And so I get the quilt out and I measure it, and it's like 106.5 by 105.5, which is fine. I can quilt that. And then I pull out her backing. She gave me some backing fabric. And I go, well, maybe she got this longer and she sewed an extra piece on the side or something. She bought 3 yards of 108. So I've got exactly a 108-inch square to quilt a 106.5 and a 105.5-inch quilt. So that's never going to work on a long arm, and especially when you're using leader grips to load your quilts. So that's just not going to work. I got an inch and a half of play. So I called and let the customer know. And now I wasn't going to take it apart at first, but now I'm sitting here literally taking this quilt, the final border off of the quilt so that it can be smaller, because she didn't want to add pieces onto it. And so now I'm literally taking the borders off the quilt. At first I was going to go ahead and just quilt it with it on there, but I'm like, this quilt, it's a row by row. It's one of my patterns she's doing. It's a row by row quilt. And the rows aren't quite straight. Like, nobody is perfect, so the rows aren't straight, and I feel like if I tried to quilt around that final border, it just might give me grief further down the quilt. So I'm actually going ahead and taking the border off. So yeah, so I've had a weird day. I'm ripping on the first day of the year. But at least it isn't mine. I didn't make the error, so. Deborah Quilts is here. Hey, Deborah, I've been meaning to call you, girl. I keep forgetting. I think she has the Steam Fast one because I bought the same kind after she talked about it at retreat. Okay. Because I couldn't even see it. I don't see the logo with it being up, I guess. And knowing me, I'll touch something and have an avalanche. So I'm not going to do that today. I wanted to take me a nap. As soon as I get ready to take a nap, all kinds of stuff starts happening. So I didn't get that nap either. So I don't know. It just seemed like these things here are never ending. I keep thinking maybe I got like over 100 of these. Whatever I sew tonight, I think I'm going to go ahead and move on to clue number 5 and start making some of those so I can put some blocks together. Hi, Dora Camarina. Nancy Robinson. She says it's below 0 here in Minnesota. Great time to use my Accuquilt and cut out a few items to start sewing. Well, that's great. Okay, Stephanie had to leave. Hopefully she can come back later. And Diane 57 says I would have added a border to the backing. That's not what she wanted to do. So I told her I would quilt it, so it's kind of my fault that I'm doing it, but I'm going to go ahead and just charge her for the full size of the quilt, so I'll get some of my money back anyway, and it's going to be custom quilted, so she'll end up paying me for taking the border off. If it was my quilt, I would have gotten the backing and added a piece onto 2 sides of my backing, but I wasn't going to add 2 pieces onto that quilt only to have to take it back off or use my fabric to do that, because I don't have fabric just laying around to do that. I've been giving stuff away now. I don't have that kind of fabric anymore. So, yeah. I would have gotten it back and just added onto the backing, because I didn't even have the backing on the machine. I was at the point where I'm just doing measurements. I always measure before I put anything onto the frame, because once you start quilting, it's a lot. You can add additional backing on the frame, but it's a lot more complex. And I try to avoid having to do that. But you are correct, Diane. Tiffany talking about, T, how many quilts in the making you've got going on right now? I still haven't finished the Charlotte sometimes because I haven't decided if I want to add the circles. I think the Begone Surround, I'm doing a quilt that's different. It's a modern quilt, so I'm almost leaning towards finishing it the way it should be finished according to the pattern. Even if it's going to be busy, I think that's the whole purpose of the pattern that I picked to do in the first place. So I still might do that. I still need to put borders on my Cleopatra's fan. So those are things that are in my queue to try to do. I got them laying over here. And then my K-facet quilt, the ones where the squares are going on point in the diagonals. I forget the name of the pattern. So that's 3. I'm working on one that I haven't shared with you all yet. That's 4. It will be soon. It'll be on here soon. I'm just trying. Whenever I get finished with this Bonnie Hunter mystery, and I just need to put a border on the Scooch Over 2, which is the African Prince quilt top that I made. I decided I just needed to put just white borders on the sides, and then it'll be the right size that I need. And like for us piecing right now, and then this one here that Erica Jackman's quilt that I'm using this is not it, that I'm using these Tula Pinks on, these True Color Tula Pinks. That's that Erica Jackman's. That's the other one. I've been ignoring that quilt for some reason. So those are ones that I'm piecing. I do have some that I have quilted that I just haven't done the final. I got the binding maybe on the front, but haven't done the end connects because I put the binding on sometimes on my Longarm. So I got the binding on the front, but not going to the back. And I got a lot of stuff that I finished. I just haven't shown because I haven't not finished, but like quilt tops finished that I haven't shown because I have not done a completed projects video. And then I haven't even been recording since I have not been showing them. I have not even been recording. So I haven't taken one picture in December, the month of December. I bet you I made about 25 t-shirts and didn't take a picture of one. Not one. I'm a mess right now. I sold that one with a white on top, which means I need to make another one with white on top. Every once in a while I do that, I'll flip them to the wrong side. So I just need to do one that's completely the same way, and it all works out. I got a lot, Tiffany. I told you all I'm a technique junkie and I get bored pretty easily. Maxie Doodle is here. Tiffany and T, Becca's live was fun to watch last night. Well, thank you. I saw some familiar names. Diane talking about she's been napping all day. Let me turn these to the wrong side so I don't have to turn them. Sue says, Happy New Year to her favorite group. I so enjoyed your participation in the collab with the So Becca last night. Well, thank you. It was interesting. I had never done a YouTube collab like that where we were like, all online like that. I've done them with Kevin, the quilter, of course. So that was fun. Remo JS is here. Kim is also reminding people to hit that thumbs up bell. Appreciate it. Asking you to also join the Facebook group. So thank you, Kim. And Diane says for this mystery, she's just printing out the clues so that she can have them later. I'm downloading everything. I don't print the clues. I just download and then I just write on a piece of paper what it is I need. This is embarrassing. Like, I don't have paper. I recycle any and everything. This was a scrap of freezer paper. And so I've been just writing on the stuff on this freezer paper. Ridiculous. I had to laugh. I need to put it on a bigger sheet of paper. I've been counting the pieces as I go as well. So if I ever get caught up, part 5, I haven't even calculated part 6, but part 5, you're at 2,100 pieces. And I can't get off part number 4. One of these days I'll catch up. And it's funny, some people say that these pieces are too little, and then other people says this is the biggest block that Bonnie's ever made. So it's interesting, the perception and take. So people want it smaller, some people want it smaller. Me, it doesn't bother me what size piece I'm sewing. It's the count, because I get bored easily, as I was stating earlier. But I rather do the whole quilt. I don't like doing a part of a quilt project, even if it's, I don't know what size I'm going to end up with. So I'll just go ahead and do the whole thing, because I know the whole thing will fit probably at the minimum of a full-size bed. And if you add borders, you can get to a queen easily. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I don't know. I guess I'll add this one too. I'm trying to determine if I wanted to start putting those into halves or keep going. We'll just keep going because I need a gazillion. That's the count. A gazillion. Up north it's a lot colder, says Nancy Robinson. Yep. Yep. I complain about the Midwest weather because it gets cold here. We have a very cold winter most times. And I keep saying I'm going to move. And then I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to move to. So I'm just going to have to stay right here in the Midwest. Because I don't want to get too hot and I don't want to be any colder. So I don't like it hot all the time either. I do like that cool weather will kill some of the bugs and stuff. So, like the flies. So I get bit less. Oops, I forgot to turn this stack upside down and rotate it. So the red ones are already wrong side up. And Diane saying that she can't, she's just not ready for the 4-star general because the pieces are so small. They're the same size as this, like as far as piecing and holding stuff, they fit the same stuff that I'm doing here. So they're small just like this. So if you downloading Bonnie's thing, You in the same neck of the woods. Got small units. But they all work out. I don't know what's going on with that piece. It's a lot better now. I have never, well, I don't know. I don't think I could sew fast with this little pieces because they so tiny. I get it up under there, then I'm done, and it takes me longer to put the pieces together. And I didn't cut them with fabrics that match because I'm one of those scrap quilters that don't like all of my half square triangle units to have the same fabrics, or any of my, any of my triangles. I like mixing them up. So unless they're just one project, then I would go ahead and do that if it's just two fabrics that I'm making a lot of them up. But if I'm using a lot of different fabrics and I want them to be scrappy, so I don't like cutting them right sides together like that. Trying to figure out this, that white on white where you can't tell what's the right and wrong side. Yeah, but I've never, people say, you must sew fast because I'm real prolific. It's like, no, I keep telling people I don't sew fast. I just keep at it. I just put in the time. Next time we do 4-star general, I might be cutting. Trying to catch up with this Bonnie Hunter thing. Jennifer says that she wants to try sewing her binding on with the long arm. Do you have a video about that? I'm sure I have. I have shown that, Jennifer. You can do everything. You have to leave the space like you would if you were sewing on a regular sewing machine. You're binding. I just leave that space. That's so I stop at that point on the long arm. And I'm sure I have a video. I just haven't like watched it in a long time. I might have one or two videos like that. I'm hearing more gunshots now, okay? Yesterday wasn't enough. And I don't think they're fireworks, but I'm not looking either to determine which one. My sister posted on her Facebook page that bullets should cost $900 a piece. And I hurry up and like that one. See how many shots you pull off then. Cheryl saying thank you for mine. I don't know if she's talking to me or Tiffany. Maria Rodriguez is saying hello from North Carolina. Sue says you seem relaxed and natural, like you have been with that group often. I did not know Ian, but I knew everybody else. Um, Teresa Louise, I quilt too. We go way back. And y'all know Tiffany. Tiffany been here forever. She was one of the, I think she was the first subscriber out of all of those people, except for Eric. Eric was on here when I was sitting here doing a live, and it was just me. Casper to y'all says hello. Betsy says the collaboration was great last night. Thank you. Remo says she printed all of Bonnie Hunter's mystery quilt pattern. So I don't know why Patricia was having a problem with number 4. They all sitting there the same way. So I didn't understand that. But hopefully she got it. She said she was going to go back and check and see. Darcy Savali is here. She was watching NHL. And Leetta saying this is her 10th Bonnie Hunter mystery. I think this is my number 3. I did Ringo Lake, something about crystal stars or something like that. I don't know. I renamed it. That's why I can't remember the name of it. I renamed it to something else. And this one, if I ever get it done, it'll be the end of January. Before I get caught up at the rate I'm going, because I got to do 2 4-star general blocks too. So I'm going to stop this trail right here, cut this off. I'm going to just take the first 2 and sew these together so I can get that last piece off. Well, I only need 1, right? I thought I had one that was a partial. That's why I said, it's like I have stuff. I keep wondering if I got gremlins eating my stuff, if the if this fan is blowing these pieces because they're small. I counted 100 and put them in the bag so I can make sure I have them. And I got my comments stopped, so I can't see all the comments coming up right now. So I'm just going to sew these 2 together so I can get the one that's still hanging on there off. I always try to get that one off. I would normally chain piece on something else, but I don't have time to chain piece when I got all these seams I got to make. So we're going to save chain piecing for another time. I'm still chain piecing, just using my current pieces. All right. See if I use this thing. I don't really like it. I prefer. See, I feel like I don't leave enough space for this. Because I'm one of those quilters, I'm sewing really close together. I don't even have a 1/4 of an inch between my pieces of thread. So I feel like I don't have enough space. This and this one. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, that's right. I thought I was at the piece where I needed to, reverse it, because remember I had some that was turned the other way. But I'm not at it yet. And it seems like I got a lot of pieces here, and then when I go count, it's only 20 blocks. And remember, if you want Bonnie Hunter's mystery, you can go to her blog and click on the rhododendron. I can't remember because I don't do flowers and I don't do flower names. So I can't remember. It's got a lot of letters in it. Rhododendron trail, something like that. That's closer. Here's the piece I was looking for. It was mixed up in the sewing chain here. Francis Jackson is here. Hey. Kevin says, I thought you and I are moving to Iowa, Missy. That's still Midwest. That's still the Midwest. That'll work. Yeah, we say we're moving to Iowa because they got the best quilt shops. We're gonna be broke. We won't be in there long. But that's where we're moving. All right. So I'm just putting those in there because they're not counted to 20s yet. All right, these two here are going backwards, so I need to put these two together. So we'll do that. Get it out the way. Thank you, Darcy. She's reminding people to give me a thumbs up. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys giving me thumbs up. Appreciate you guys being here. Happy New Year to those that have come in late. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your support. Also, for people that have come in late, if you have used my Accuquilt link to purchase anything from October 1st through December 31st, 2021, email me at Teaquilts. Email me, teaquilts@teaquilts.com. I'm doing a drawing. I have all of the list of the sales during that period. And as I check you off, I will be adding your name onto this list. And everybody on this list is going into a drawing. Thank you, Diane. She's also reminding people to share the video. Yeah, if you enjoy my channel and you got other quilt people on your homepage on Facebook or something like that, please share my group. Trying to get the total subscription count up. I'm only like a few people from 15,000 subscribers. I don't normally push subscribers on my channel, but would appreciate if you all would share my channel with your friends. Would be great. I had 15,000 last December, and then YouTube did something weird and knocked me all the way back to 13,000. So I don't know what happened with that. And then I have nobody in YouTube that I can talk to about that. I put in written complaints and stuff, and I'm not getting anywhere with it. So it's just very strange what's going on with my subscriber count. Elizabeth says, a question. Do the border fabric have to be duplicated somewhere else in the quilt? I get this question a lot. Absolutely not. I'd say about probably 90 or more % of my quilts do not have the border fabric inside the quilt. And that's basically because, mainly number one is because I make scrap quilts. And so I don't even know if I'm going to put a border on a quilt. Every quilt doesn't require a border. And sometimes you don't know that until the quilt is done and it starts to talk to you. So I say no. However, if you want to pick colors for a quilt and make it easy on yourself, I would pick my border fabric first, and then you could pull your fabric, even scrappy, you can pull your colors for your quilt from that border print if you know that you're going to put a border on a quilt ahead of time. You can also, if you want, incorporate that border piece. Say if you're making an evening star block and you've got a square in the middle, you can put that border print in the center square of your star blocks if you want. But it's not absolutely necessary if you don't want to. It's all up to the designer. Do whatever you like. I heard T talking about the t-shirts, and I can't wait to get mine. I mailed off all but one t-shirt. I got one order that I haven't heard back from a customer needing to know what size on their shirts. I've done 3 emails and haven't gotten a response back yet. So I'm just praying that nothing serious is going on. When stuff like that happens, I start worrying about people because, you know, it's that time. It's a lot going on in the world. So, and I haven't heard from them in about a little over a week. So I get nervous when I haven't heard from people like that. And I try to keep into account that it's the holidays, maybe people are traveling, but that doesn't stop my little worry wart mind from getting overactive. um, Quilt Gal's trying to get Kevin to answer a question about staple starch. I think she put it on the YouTube video on the 4-star general when I think we were at Kevin's house. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was at I think it was at Kevin's house. Dee Dee said she didn't need any more projects with these little small pieces, so she's still working on her 4-star general. I know somebody posted they have all their blocks and borders done, so I never intended to do it that fast, just one block a month. And at the rate I'm going, I may have to drop one of my quilts and just work on one because I'm working with this right now. So I don't know. We'll see. I might just cut the pieces and put them in a bag and then sew them up later. But we'll see. I'm trying to keep up with too many things right now. And I should not even be working on stuff. The month of January is supposed to be my off month. But I got too much to do. Diane says she can't handle 1.5-inch squares. Okay, Jennifer, she's just saying thanks when I was talking about I'm so far behind, guys, because I'm sewing and chatting. I'm about 10 minutes behind. And Kim Burris left. That was a long time ago. Good night, Kim. Talking to T. My sister says it's me. Oh, okay. That's from Cheryl. And Tiffany saying, I've been around forever, T, almost 6 years. Okay. Because I know we've been chatting in the live chats for a while. Just seemed like time just sure does fly. It's amazing how time flies. So, see, I feel like I have a lot of block units here. And then when I get them all made up, they say it's 20. It's like nowhere near enough. I'm just hoping I don't have to recut. I don't want to cut any more of this. Hoping it's enough. Diane 57, I don't know what she's talking about. Talking about, hey T, what about me? I was here. Oh yeah, because she's talking about when I was saying when I first started. But I think Eric was the first one that actually came into a chat room. And I think Diane was too, because I think I made her a moderator. She was my first moderator, as a matter of fact. So she is correct. What about me? I don't know what happened here that I got one where I've got thread on the front and no thread thread on the back and no thread on the front on like the last ½ inch. And I think it's because I cut it with this thing. I'm not using it anymore because I don't have a long tail between my pieces. And I think that's why the thread just pulls out. I'm just a snips girl. You are correct, Diane. Had to think about the topic. I'm more than 10 minutes behind. I'm 15 minutes behind. They all seem like a genuinely great group. Yep. Carissa talking about she sneezed with oxygen up her nose. Not a pleasant experience. Yeah. And now the next time she needs to sneeze, she gonna try to stop that for real. I try not to vomit. I vomit once. I swear I'm never trying to do that again. Yeah, Sandra saying bullets shot in the air can come down hot. Have a friend who's a falling one landed on her shoulder. People don't think. Nope, they don't. They don't care. Even when they do their fireworks, the stuff they shoot it because I've got the biggest backyard, and so they just shoot everything straight to my yard. I have no trees, and then we got to go clean up all that crap when we're not supposed to have fireworks in our subdivision anyway. And it's a waste of time to call the police because they're not going to do anything, number one. And then number two, by the time when they show up and ride down the street, don't nobody know anything that's going on at that point. So there's no need in calling. I've never called them for that because it's a waste of time. I already know it. Tiffany talking about someday, T, after all these years, we got to meet in person. Yeah, you got to travel. I can't come all the way to Phoenix, girl. Unless something else going on, but you got to travel. You got to meet me somewhere. I have a friend that was here. She moved to Phoenix. We used to be the Girl Scout leaders, and I haven't even visited her yet. And she's been there, I'm gonna guess, maybe 4 or 5 years. She's a school teacher, so she's here now. She'll be leaving in a little bit, I'm sure, to go back home. But she comes home for Christmas, and in the summertime she comes back. Stays with her children and grandchildren. And Mary said that's the same experience with a CPAP. Okay, that's good to know too. Does Bonnie Honey keep all of her mysteries posted somewhere? No. Bonnie Hunter's mysteries are only free for like a month after she gives out the last clue. And then after that, she takes all of the posts with that information in it down because they end up being in a book. I was talking about this earlier. When people are giving out patterns that are they know that they're gonna publish or could publish, they they're using the people who are making it as pattern testers. Although I've never had Bonnie Hunter's instructions be wrong, there is a possibility that when you are doing somebody's free pattern, that it could be a mistake in it, and it's a free pattern. They're using you as pattern testers, and so, uh, you know, to each his own. You're doing it at your own risk, per se. And then what she does is these will end up being in her book. So if you look back at all of her previous mysteries, they end up somewhere in a book or pattern format. So she ends up selling it. So it's not free forever. And that's why she doesn't want people giving out the dimensions and how many you need to make and all of that kind of stuff. She wants you to go buy the pattern. Vivian Cabby was out here 15 minutes ago. Good night, Vivian. Thank you, Tiffany. She put a link to Bonnie Hunter's mystery page, to the blog page. And then when you go to a blog, on the right, they have like a list of their previous posts, and you can go back to the previous part. So you just keep going back. If you go to part 1, just go to click on part 1, then on page where part 1 is, she has all part 1 is the introduction, not part 1, but part 1 of the introduction is what you need, not necessarily sewing part 1. But she has all of the links on that page for you. So you can always get them there. Hello, Katrina. Saying she's having power issues. Not sure how long she's going to be on. So sorry about that. I'm still pressing these seams over. Now, when I sew these little jokers, again, it's going to end up being 20 blocks. I have not been counting them as I'm making them, but I know I need a lot, so there's no need for me to count at this point. I got lots of pieces in this box, so we're just going to keep moving forward. And I have not even pressed these seams at all. I'm just making them. Rhododendron drawn or something. Rhododendron trail. That's Tiffany telling the name of it, because I couldn't remember. It's got so many letters in there. Where is your little flower cutter? Flower cutter? You talking about this? It took my seam. I don't know what she's talking about. The flower cutter. Oh, you're talking about the one with the rotary blade. Yeah, that one I haven't even set up yet. It's in the bag. She's talking about the one I just got for Christmas from my quilting group. One of the ladies in the quilting group gave me the one where you put the rotary cutter bag, but I don't like that one at all. And I don't know if I'm gonna like the other one. And I think like I said, I sew so close because I'm so saving thread, and then I don't have a big tail hanging, that I don't know if these things are made for me. You're always losing pieces, T, laughing out loud. Yeah, but I found it. It was mixed up I had set it up here, and of some kind of way it got mixed up into the tail that was going back here. And I got to re-sew that one because when I cut it, some of my thread, I got a 1/2 inch with no thread. That's not going to work. That's a hole in a quilt. Carissa saying her work wants her to come back as soon as possible. If you're sick, girl. Take care of yourself because nobody else will. So I've got quite a few of these here. I'm going to run this one back through all the way. Just because it's easier. And then I got to get that oddball piece I just ran in there off. And press that one. All right. And now we can start sewing these. Let me see if I can get caught up a little bit. Yeah, and that's what Leetta is also saying, that Bonnie's Mysteries usually end up in her book. Rhododendron is how it's pronounced, T. Thank you, Diane 57. Oh, that's really nice, Carissa. She said her daughter dropped off one of her quilts so she could have it. They're way better than the hospital blankets. Yes, and prettier. Grandparent says, hello. I just saw you for the first time on Becca yesterday. Excited to watch. I just got the EQ8 software and was interested in finding your videos on EQ8 to watch. So just go on YouTube and search for Teaquilts. Put in Teaquilts electric quilt and it should come up for you. I probably only have about 2 or 3 because when I made the videos, I haven't gone back and looked at them now. But when I made the video at the time, they weren't getting a lot of views. So I stopped doing that series because it was a lot of work. I was having to record my screen and all of that and trying to sync my words with the screen. And it was a hot mess, but I was trying to do it. And so when I saw people weren't really watching them, I just stopped recording those. So I'll go back at some point and check and see if people are still, if they've increased in views or not. Ellen saying she's still here. Carrie says, just to answer the questions on T's Facebook group, I just came by to hang out for a little bit, but calling it a night. Good night, all. I'll have to look at that stuff later. I don't have notifications on here. T, take off non-active accounts. T, they take off non-active accounts. Oh, she's talking about when I talked about how I lost over 1,500 subscribers like in a day. I don't know what they did, but it was not nice. Oh, so yeah. But that was a lot of non-active accounts. I just can't believe that's what happened to me. So Kevin's Kevin was asking Quilt Gal, what's her question? All blocks and borders done, overachiever. Yeah, I can't remember who that is, but they did post that they were done. Trying to complete clue 6 to Bonnie's mystery right now. That's Kevin. So not chatting much. I'm thinking of just making some extra squares for the border instead of the half star. That's fine. Does anyone know what question Quilt Gal had about the stay full starch? Have you ever added distilled water to thin down stay full starch? I left mine at room temperature and it got stinky. Any thoughts? When I use concentrated starch, I always use distilled water. And then I also will put a few drops of essential oil in it as well. But that's just how I make mine. And I make mine, I don't make like a whole big gallon thing. I just make them inside of my best press bottles or the spray bottles that we have. I just make it in that. Recycle those bottles. I never dilute and never had a problem with that. I like my fabric very, very firm. And Ellen saying that she refrigerates her starch. So that's good to know. The homemade starch that she refrigerates, I guess. We aren't supposed to have fireworks in the whole county, T. I know that, Sue. But um, thanks, Diane, saying my hair looks good. I just took it down and didn't even do anything to it. We're going as is. I had it up while I was talking to Kevin. I look any kind of way talking to Kevin. I have my little twisties going out and sticking up, and Kevin gets whatever. And Kevin says, I have never refrigerated starch personally. Yeah, but that's because you're not diluting it. You don't have to refrigerate it. Well, I've had one that I opened and I didn't use it as fast, and I had it probably open a year, and because I wasn't using it, I forgot I had the bottle there, and it stunk. It did stink. It wasn't Stay Flow. It was Faultless, I think. And Tiffany, when I told her she got to start traveling, she got to put on her big girl panties and learn how to get out of the house before I travel far. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you got to meet her somewhere. I'm all the way to Houston. Come on. you gotta be willing to work with us. Tiff, you've traveled to Vegas, laughing out loud, but Vegas ain't as far. But Kevin telling her though, you gotta come meet us. What are you using? Judy says, what are you using on the squares? I don't know who she's talking to. Because I don't have squares, so I don't know. She's into talking about them, Kevin, and the starch thing. I don't know. Jennifer says, the free mystery normally disappears around mid-February. Old mysteries are for sale on her website after that time in a more condensed format and not clue style. So that's what Jennifer says. Jennifer and Lietta follows her a lot more. So it's either going to be, like I said, a pattern, or it's going to end up in a book. Has anything heard from Dennis, lives in Canada? No, not since she's talking about Mario. Not since he left out saying that his partner hasn't been doing well. I need to write some of this stuff down. This is my instruction sheet that needs to be rewritten anyway. I'll put that on here. And I haven't seen Jackie K either from Canada. So I'll email Mario, and then I kept saying I was going to do Pam. I'll contact her too, because we haven't heard from her at all either. But I'm thinking that Pam she said she was getting worse the last time I chatted with her. And I don't know if she's physically able to operate technology right now. So I'm just trying to get caught up here on the chats. My mother refrigerated her starch clothes and then sprinkled water on them to iron. Kevin, that's 2 hours away. That's Tiffany talking about Vegas. My last travel to Cali was a 6-hour drive. It's a killer on my body, and my anxiety is too high to fly. So driving is her only way. Yep. Patricia says, do we know how many clues there are? I don't want to miss any. No, we don't. We'll know when she says final clue. That's how you know. Nobody knows. Francis saying good night. Yes, with the rotary blade. Yeah, okay. That was Sandra. It looks like a flower and you put old rotary blades in it. Yep, I got it. Well, I moved the bag so I could have room over here. I moved the bag. How many steps left? Yeah, we don't know. Thank you, Tiffany. Oh my God, and then she spilled water on herself. Sorry, Tiff. And Elizabeth says water, if not boiled, it will sour. And that's why I started using distilled water. And I haven't had any issues using distilled water. But I don't like make a huge batch of it either. I might make half a gallon at most. But most of the time, I'm just making them inside of my best press bottles. The pen you had in your hand. Let me go back to see what Judy L saying, because that was a long time ago, girl. I'm not connecting tonight. What are you using on the squares? The pen I had in my hand was an ink pen. I was writing on a piece of paper. That's an ink pen. This is just, I'm just writing down names because I haven't done anything else with the pen. When I'm writing on the squares, like when we did the swap blocks, I use I showed them when I had my haul video because I bought some at Michael's. And I don't have one in here. I normally try to keep one in here. I have a friction pen because somebody gave it to me as a gift. But I don't really use friction pens because I don't want to be bothered with having to heat stuff. And then if it gets hot or cold, it might come back. So I don't tend to do that. Let me see if I can find the pen that I do use. But this is just going to be the wrong kind. But it's the right brand. I use the Pigma pen. It doesn't even have their name on this. Isn't that crazy? Where they do that at? Hold on. Get another one. I have a whole box of them somewhere, but they're in the bag. I don't have them out. I'm trying to find the Micron. Goodness gracious. Pigma Micron pen. You're not going to probably be able to read that. I don't know. I can see it a little bit. And you can buy these on Amazon. I just went and got some at Michael's because I just saw them there and I had a coupon. So I got them. And I always buy the 05. They do have them in black. So I bought a multi-black pack. And then I'll buy a separate color pack if I want to put some color on the label that I'm writing on. Or like the name things that we did. You could have added designs to them if you wanted to. But I always like to write with the 03 or the 05. 05 is my favorite. 03 is a little bit thinner. Don't get 001. That's a super thin line. That's something you would do if you're trying to outline something. So make sure you get like an 03 or an 05 if you're trying to sign blocks or write labels. I've always, for years, used these pens to do my labels with. So they're my go-to. I've washed over and over and over, and they've never come out. And I've done videos on other markers like tulip markers. They didn't wash out. Some of them kind of faded in the colors. Most of them, the blacks were okay though. So let me go back down here to Judy L so I can start back again. And Ellen saying you have to boil water to make the starch. Oh, it won't constitute smoothly. I haven't had any problems using distilled water. And what I do is I just let my, I'll run the bottle once I get it done under the faucet sometimes and heat it. But I haven't had any issues with not, that it not mixing well. It does pretty good for me. I don't ever read instructions on what people tell me to do though. I just do what works. If it don't work, I try something else. Oh my God, Tiffany's got to go to the shower. She's so cold. She got to run water in there. Kevin says starch doesn't last long around my store, and my bottles don't last long either. And Elizabeth says she does a bottle at a time as well. Okay. That's Teresa. Judy L. I figured I didn't even think she was talking about the press tool because Judy L's been hanging around here for a long time. So I figured she already done seen these press tools. We've been doing these press tools since mid 2020 when I first started selling these. You all kept asking me about one that I had. I've had my other one for years, and you all kept asking me about it. And so I went and contacted the guy, and I now sell these on my site. Right now, I've got to go back and open up for people to purchase these. I've kind of closed most of the categories out, but most of these I purchase in sets so that you get a press. Oh, it's a wood press is what I'm pressing these seams over with. And then it just gives it a little memory to know that it needs to stay that way. So this is one here. And then this is what it looks like on the back. Now remember, I've also got some sizing in my fabric too. And so that helps as well. But I can just press my seam with this instead of using a heated iron, and then I can go ahead and sew my next seam. I'll do about 2 to 4 seams depending on the type of block, what I'm sewing. And then I'll go press with a heated iron. I don't continue to make my entire block without using a heated iron. But I do like this because it gives it memory on where to go. And then that's the press. And then it also comes with a unit that has a stiletto on one end. The other end, as you can see, is closed. You just flip them around. And then you have a seam ripper on the other end. And I like these because you don't have to worry about where your caps are for your seam ripper and your stiletto. So it's all concealed into this unit. These are on my website. I've shut most of these down because before Christmas I had sold out of all of these. Everything sold out except for my natural woods. I got them in natural wood colors, and that's it. But my order should be coming in one day. It's Saturday, so one day next week I got in an order. I just wanted to wait. These crystals on here, I added that myself, my hot fix crystals. I added those myself. Those are not going to be on your units. I put these on here so I can see if it will stop it from rolling off my desk. Like if I put it here, it stops it from rolling. You see how it's rolling and then it stops. This one on the handle here, I think I need to put it in a different spot because that one doesn't work all the time. It's working now. Trying to get it to roll, but not like pushing it so it's got momentum. Because most of the time we put stuff down, and then if it's got some kind of a barrel to it, it has the tendency to roll. And somebody told me that they broke their seam ripper because it was open when they put it down, and then it fell and hit the floor. And so I put a little hot fix crystal on it, and it keeps it from rolling. And then I just put 3 on this because I just thought they were just cute. And I put it in my hand and see where my fingers are. so that I'm not resting on those hot fix crystals. So if you decide to do yours, make sure that you know where your hand is when you're using your tools, so that you're not gonna have your hand resting on a crystal, so you can still see the crystal in there. So I thought Judy L was talking about something else because she's been here for a while. Sorry about that. Thank you, Darcy, reminding people to give me a thumbs up. We got a half hour left. I'm just trying to read some chats since I've been doing more sewing and hadn't chatted with you guys. And Sue is talking about the same thing. They're trying to help me, and Ellen too. I need to find my clean my sewing area to find all the things I've lost. That's Diane. Yes. And Ellen says she needs a class of organization. Yes, I just think we got so much stuff. And some of a true organizer come in, their first thing is going to be get rid of it. And it's like, that's what I'm trying to do myself right now, is as I'm touching stuff and I know I'm not going to use it, I'm trying to put it aside so that I'm not putting it back up. So I am trying to do that because I know I don't want to use another piece of calico. I'm sick of calico. And Elizabeth asking too. Darcy says, I need to clean, or helping with the question. But Darcy says, I need to clean my iron. I noticed a little dark spot on some fabric. Yeah, and I need to do that. I need to change the cover on my big board. And then I'm like my mother. My mom says, it's kind of like cleaning your house. She said, you clean your house so people can come in. But she says, when you clean it top to bottom, when they leave. She said, you just make it presentable. And I think about that with my big board, because you got people that will spray water, people that's going to spray starch. They're going to mess my cover up. And then if I change it, it's going to come back home looking a hot mess. So I'm thinking I might just leave my big board a hot mess until retreat is over, and then come home and change my cover after retreat, so I don't have to worry about my cover having starch over it, because we're going to have 20-something people in the room, and everybody is going to iron and press different. So maybe I'll just leave my board like it is. Take my mom's advice. Quilt Gal, all you got to do is download the instructions for Bonnie Hunter's Mystery. You don't have to print it. You just download it, save it on your any device you have, even if you have to use a USB stick. I save all my patterns. I don't print anything. And then when I'm ready, like I've already got 5 and 6 downloaded, although I'm still on clue number 4. I want to make sure that I don't forget, because if I'm missing a clue and she's already taken it down, I'm in trouble because I don't have all the clues. So just download the clues, then you work on it at your own pace. And you can see where the duplication and cuts are, and you can cut everything at one time too. You don't have to do it mystery style, because that's how she's going to rewrite her pattern anyway. It's not going to be mystery style. Judy L says, thanks for explaining. My pleasure. Deborah says, good night, having internet problems. Good night, Deborah. Thank you so much. Jafar says, what are we talking about? Quilting. Are you a quilter? I have hidden my wooden press and seam ripper from my, oh my gosh. You got to find it, girl. Sandra says, I believe I have too much stuff too, but I don't want nobody touching it. You got that right. Elizabeth says, we need to clean, and everything we have 2 or more of, give it to another quilter that needs it. Some things I like 2 or 3 of, because this is what I do. Like I do a lot of travel sewing, retreats and things like that. So sometimes I'll have stuff set up that I don't have to take this press when I go somewhere, because in my bag I already have everything kind of set up to go. So I do kind of like that. So when I'm going, because I also have my scrap quilting club, we met once a month. That seems so long ago now that we haven't met. It's been almost 2 years. And I would already have stuff set up for that so that I wouldn't have to pack every time I had to do that. And then when I come back home and I come in here and I don't feel like unpacking right away, then I'm missing my press tool and I got to go in there and dig it out because I'm not in the mood for unpacking all of that. I just want to sew. And so I've learned to have duplicates of some things and then I just leave them packed. I even have duplicate rulers packed that I don't have to pack rulers when it's time for me to go on retreat. Paula says that she's just checking in. I'm going to get those Micron Pigma pens. Glad you recommended. Yes, they will not erase. They will not come off fabric when it's washed. Infusion made me sleepy. Good night. That's from Carissa. Good night, Carissa. Thanks for coming in here. Patricia says, I got tea to thank you. I was hiring the wrong one. I don't know what she's saying, but this auto correct on our phones, it messes us up sometimes. Sandra says, Bonnie says she puts freezer paper on her ironing surfaces for the retreat in. And I can understand why, because I was thinking about like doing that, but I'm like, I don't know. I haven't done it. Maybe I should try it because I did think about that. And I thought, is it going to be all loud and crinkly, or should I just do half the board where you just spray down here and iron on the other side? Because I thought about that too. So that's a great idea, Sandra. I'm almost at the bottom of chat. Yay! Joy says, I just bought a gallon of Best Press at Joann's today at half price. I've never used it before. Want to try it and see if I like it better than starch. Yes. Kevin says, I love organization. Your friend is coming to help you, Miss T. I need your help, Kevin, please. That's Ellen. And Sanchez reminding people, hit the thumbs up, please. Kevin's so sweet. But I've just been, and it's hard. It's one of those things where you don't, like a regular organizer that's not a quilter, it's like, don't even step in my house. Because, the first thing they're going to be saying is throw it away. And I've been getting rid of a lot of stuff. So, we shall see. But I still get a lot of stuff, okay? Now I got African fabric everywhere because it's coming in and I haven't cut it. I'm going to, my dear friend Kevin says he's going to help me cut the Take 5 kit. So I'm going to put that fabric back in my car because I'll go to his house so he can help me with that. When the time is right. I'm not ready for that yet, though. I just want to get it out of my space. But I guess I should show y'all the second set of fabrics before I put it in my car, I guess. I'll do that Wednesday. Show the next fabric. Because I have another order that's supposed to be here Monday. I have a feeling it's going to come on Tuesday, though. I don't know. I just feel like if the post office is closed for the new year, how are they going to pick it up and deliver it on Monday? So, I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully it'll be here by Wednesday. My post office on, what was that, Friday or Thursday? I can't remember which day now. Maybe it was Friday. I had some orders. I had one for UPS and two for the post office. So I go to the post office that's closest to my house. I got two that's in the vicinity, just which way you want to go. So I went to one, and they had a sign up there, closed to 4:30. It's 3 o'clock. So I go on down the street and go to UPS, drop off my package at UPS with no problem. And all of my stuff is prepaid, so I have to mail my stuff either that day or the next day. Well, the next day was Christmas, and then they're closed on Sunday, and Monday. So if I didn't get it mailed on Friday, my postage was going to expire. So what do? I go to the next post office after I left the UPS. Do you know that post office was closed too? It just so happened it was Christmas, and one of the guys that used to work there had rang the bell for mail pickup. And the lady came out. She knew he was out, and she came out and was talking to him. And I begged her to please take my stuff. She said, "You can drop it in the mailbox." I said, "My box, I had priority mailboxes, and they were too big to put in there." So I said, "I can't put boxes in there. They're too big." And she did take them. She wasn't happy, but she took them. And I did see where she actually scanned them through, too. So I was really happy she did that. But the post office was closed. They having issues getting staff at the post office. I don't know what's going on with this post office, but it is not a good thing. Paula is saying, "T, I've been looking at Accuquilt cutters. Want to purchase the Go Me. What's the largest die it would take? I will go through your account affiliate link before purchase." The Go Me will take dies up to 6 inches. So that's the smallest machine that they have. It's going to take the smallest dies. Now, they have a lot of die boards that you can use with the Go Me. You can even get some block on boards. I'm looking, I got like 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 at least block on boards that are within that 6-inch area. And that's just the ones that are sitting on the stands right in front of my desk here. If you're looking to do like the Santa stocking, you're going to have to get the regular size Go. It will not work in that. The double wedding ring will not work in that. I think the Dresden won't work. The flowering snowball won't work. I'm trying to see what else I got that's on the other side of my desk. The Storm at Sea is too big. And then all of those will work in the Go. And the only one right now that I have that definitely needs the Go Big, the electric, is the Bowl Cozy. That one needs the Go Big electric. Or if you buy a studio cutter, you need the adapters to cut the Go dies. So if you've got a studio cutter, you can also cut Go dies. So just know that you're limited by the smaller die boards. Now, most of your, like if you're buying cubes, I think up to size 9-inch finish, you can use the Go Me. And then when it gets up to the 10-inch cube, 12-inch cube, you got to have the Go, the regular Go. So just know what you're buying before you buy it, because I see so many posts in groups where people have bought dies that won't fit in their cutter. So just be careful when you're purchasing and make sure you're buying the right thing. Why is my screen blue? Shari is a great organizer. That's Katrina. Yes, if you've seen pictures of Shari's site that Katrina shared in the group, honey, she got an ideal space there. It is beautiful, just gorgeous. She organized that closet to maximum efficiency. They say the sign of a clean house is a broken sewing machine. Got that right. That's from Quilt Gal. And then like when you buy the 6-inch cutter, they have strip dies. The only strip dies you can get is the multi-strip die that will cut 1 inch, 1.5, and 2-inch. And then you can get the 2-inch cutter that will cut 2 strips of 2-inch, 2.5-inch strips, 2-inch finish. So you got to know what it is you're buying. You can't buy any other strip dies for that 6-inch cutter. So just be careful. And I actually sold my ghost strip die. I had it would cut 3. I went and bought it for my studio instead when I got the studio cutter. I can cut 5 of them jokers on that studio cutter. And then, you know, fan folding back and forth. So 5 times 3 different fabrics is 15 strips in one pass. So I like that. Because you got to remember your strips are folded on your strip dies. Your pieces are folded. So you got to count them as 2 layers. That studio will cut up to 10 layers. Gold will cut 6 layers. Whoops. We got 15 more minutes here. And I'm going to go back and load the quilt after this. Claudette Bettis is here. Hey. And Quilt Gals, don't get me started about the post office. I don't like to work with small pieces. That's why I'm asking. Thanks to you. You're welcome, Paula. You might want to go to the next size up. If you're trying to cut like 6.5-inch half square triangles, you can't do that on the Go Me. 6-inch triangle in a square. You need the Go for that. And sometimes they give you the Go Me for free when you spend so much money if they run a promo on it. I haven't seen it. Somebody thought that they had used it, but I didn't see it. They put it on some days and take it off other days. Now I gotta sneeze. Just from out of nowhere. But I'm gonna ignore that. Talk it away. You see why I don't have enough pieces? Because I'm talking. That's why I didn't sew a lot on Sew Becca. I was too busy talking. And I was trying to read some of the comments on the chat because I realized that people were talking to me in the chat. And they were going by so fast. All right. Just trying to make sure that the red pieces are different. I don't really care about the background pieces because it will hardly be noticeable since it's background. Susan Baker is here. Hi, Susan. BB Oliver came in. Elizabeth says she's got to go. See you later. People are still saying Happy New Year to everybody, so just read your chat comments. Cheryl says, I went there today and ordered a press stick and was looking for the press. I don't know where she... Oh, she's talking about my website. I do remember you ordered. Cheryl, email me which one you want because they're coming in. I ordered key lime, which is the green and the blue. And then I also have neon, which is the purple and black one here. And then tequila, which is orange, yellow, and red. And that's 3. I ordered 4. Blue Angel. I ordered Blue Angel. So it's all coming. So I was looking for the press. So if you only want the press and not the entire set, I told them to surprise me with the press because I never order presses. I just ordered 3 presses, about maybe 3 or 5. I can't remember how many presses I ordered, maybe 3. And I've sold all the press only. So when the press only come in, I can send you an email. So I'll try to remember that. If you're just wanting a press, then don't worry about emailing me right now. If you just want the press, I'll try to remember when they come in to send you a photo of which ones I have, and you can just select one before I put them on my website. But yeah, but I sold the press onlys, and I normally only sell sets. And I can't remember how many presses I ordered, maybe 5. I can't remember. I just told them to surprise me. Let's see. I'll go down here and see. Because all I do is text that order in. Let's see. Messages. Yeah, I ordered 5 single presses. And I've told you key lime, neon, tequila, and blue angel are the ones that I've ordered in sets. Just want to make sure I'm telling the right thing. So I got 5 single presses, and I said, just surprise me. Anything, I don't want anything that's Christmas or pink. That pink one is just too pink for me. For me. Somebody might like all that pink, but I don't. Good night, Lisa. Thank you for coming, and Happy New Year, hon. Paula says, yeah, I read that one. Lauren King's here says, hi, T. I didn't realize you had an Accuquilt link. I just purchased and received my 2nd cutter. I purchased the Go Big with 4 dies. So that's pretty cool. I hope you enjoy it. I do like the Go Big. I use it. I have all 4 of their cutters. I probably will end up selling my Go cutter because I don't use it. Between the Go Baby, which I use because I can use it right here in this little small space, and I can also travel with it. I do like it for travel. And I think I'm going to get rid of that one. I just kept it because I needed to do a video, and I wanted to show all the cutters in a video. And now I think I'm gonna sell that. So, and Ellen says, I have the Go Cutter. It works. Yes, it does. Tiffany in the shower talking about I'm warm now. I think now I can go to sleep, but I'm going to take advantage of the feeling. Bye, T friends. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye, Tiffany. Thank you so much. She got warmed in the running water in the shower. There's steam in there. That's pretty cool. So, and Tiffany is funny because it could be 50s, and that's cold for Tiff when she's, used to the temperature over 100. So she told us last night about it being 50 degrees. Like, girl, that's nothing. I can go out in a hoodie and that. That's nothing. All right, we're almost done with these. I got 2 more to go, looks like. Yes. And then I'm going to count and see how many did I get done today. We still got 7 minutes technically. I'm not over yet. And but I had deactivated all of the links except for one key lime. The key lime link was still open and somebody ordered it. And I'm like, I thought I deactivated all of these. And what I did was put 0 in stock and didn't deactivate the link. And they ordered anyway, even though it said 0 in stock. So But she wants key lime, and so she's willing to wait. So her order's been, I've had it for about a week. I can't talk and count. Oh, it's still going. I thought I was at the end. Last little run here. All right, so all those pieces, I made 30 units. No, 10, 20, 35. 35 units from sewing today and chatting. So that's another 35 units I don't have to worry about. So let me take these 15 off. This will be a set of 20. And then I need to, that's 15. So I'm trying to count my units, keep them sorted in batches. All right, so now I can just chat. Diane says it was out there for Christmas. They got me free if you send X amount of money. If you spend X amount of money, yeah. And they run it for like a day or two. It's not a long, like for the whole month. And I think somebody may have seen it and thought it was for the whole month. And sometimes they just have it for a few hours. I've seen where Accuquilt is changing now, where they doing it just for the people that are watching the live, because it only lasts to 1 or 2 o'clock Central Standard Time after they're live. And so they're only doing it for people watching their live certain specials too. Good night, Paula. Thank you so much for popping in and commenting, chatting with us tonight. Katrina, Miss T, I broke Shari's seam ripper after I gave one to her doctor. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. And I keep forgetting that I need to order. I don't know what I got in stock on seam rippers and stiletto replacements. Like you can buy replacements. So if your seam ripper goes bad or your stiletto gets broken or something like that, or if your seam ripper isn't sharp and cutting anymore, then you can buy a replacement. So I normally keep those in stock. I didn't even check that, so I need to check that before they ship my order. The thing with this order is that these are all handmade by a wood turner here in Missouri. So that's why, these are in and out of stock. And when I ran out, people were buying them for Christmas gifts. And so I ran out about 2 weeks before Christmas, and I just wasn't going to place an order and he would have done it, but I didn't want him working on hand tools right before Christmas when they've got family and stuff. They've got new grandbabies they've had in the past since the pandemic. And so I didn't want them running around trying to make tools for me before Christmas. Darcy is reminding people as you're leaving the room to please give me that thumbs up. And Happy New Year to you. Thank you, Darcy. What does Blue Angel look like? It's about 2 shades of blue, could be 3 shades of blue. Or it could be 2 blues and a black. I can't remember right now. I don't have that one in my stock. Um, Joan says, good night all. Have a peaceful Sunday. Good night, Joan. Patricia says, I am pressing all my scraps and cutting different square, but have trouble trying to organize the printed one. Help. Oh, she's talking about scrap storage. Okay. I store my fabric and my scraps by colors. So I have all my fabric section by colors, and then I have one that's for print. So if it's multicolor, it's just a print set. And so I store by that. And then I also have my black and white or my backgrounds stored separately as well. So I'll store my black and white separately, and my whites and blacks, I'll store them together. And then I store seasonal stuff by itself as well on yardage. And then on scraps, I just throw seasonal in either with multi-print or whatever color it is. So if it's like Halloween and it's predominantly orange, I put it into the orange scraps, even if it's got a pumpkin with a green stem or whatever. When I'm cutting, I decide if I'm going to cut for a particular project. Like I cut for a project and I just wanted to do florals. Well, I went to my florals and I pulled out anything that was smaller pieces. And then I went to my multi-prints because that's where my florals would be, because most floral prints are multicolor. And so then I pulled out any small pieces in there, and then I just die cut that and make a kit. And then I store all of those cut pieces for a kit. I make kits instead of just cutting squares now, and that's because I'm more advanced in the scrap cutting system. So instead of me cutting 2.5-inch squares, 3.5-inch squares, 3-inch squares, 1-inch squares, 1.5-inch squares, I'm now cutting for kits because I've got plenty squares that size. And if I get low on those, then I'll go back and cut those. But I've got plenty of all of those sizes. So now what I'm doing is when I have scraps and things I want to keep, instead of me putting them in the scrap drawer, that's part of what's slowing me down as I am trying to get rid of the stuff that I no longer want or need. I am cutting them into kits. And so she's asking, she's trying to get trouble for how to store her printed. So I just store all of my multicolored prints together. And then if I'm going to make a quilt that's all blues, then I just go pull from my blue stash. And then I'll pull, if I want to use backgrounds of, say, yellows maybe with my blue instead of white. So I'll go pull my blue and yellow, and then I'll cut my stuff. And when I'm cutting for stuff like that, I make sure I got the die to cut for that. Because once you've started investing in the Accuquilt, and I think Patricia has, then I want to make sure that I'm using those dies. I'm not going to go cut a size from a die that I don't have. I'm going to cut from a die that I do have. And so that's how I keep track, or I'm keeping up with my scrap system. So I store my fabric by color, I store my scraps by colors, and multi-prints, the scraps all go together. My multi-prints on my fabrics go together, except that I do have a separate section pulled out for florals. I have just florals stored by themselves. I have batiks by themselves. My Asian prints are by themselves. Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's, patriotic, and my African prints. And then I also have prints that are all dots, polka dots, or any kind of dots. I got all of those stored together. So I do have 9 other categories that are stored separately. But I still have a multi-print area because there's a lot of fabric that are multi-prints. But all of my florals are all together. And I even have my K facets all separate, so that's 10. And that's because I have a lot of them. So, it is not just K facet, because I consider anything that's Westminster, when you start getting into those designers, they were all kind of the K facet type designers, because there's a man and a lady that also designs fabric. And I don't know if they're part of K facet's company or what, but I just keep all of those fabrics all together because they're the same. Hopefully that helps, Patricia. If not, let me know and I'll try to answer in more detail. Teresa's temp is -5 outside right now, but the wind isn't blowing, so that helps. Yes. We are about -15. They talking about the weather now. Benita says 35, closer to your goal. Yes, girl. And when I'm sewing, I got all these stacks. It look like I got a gazillion blocks. And then it comes up to be like last night, it was a little over 20. I was like, I guess I wasn't doing as much sewing as I thought doing that chat. Sue says, T, use that new cutter you showed a few days ago. I love mine for chain piecing. I have another one. I don't have that one put together, and I have to get a rotary blade. And so I have to go get my used rotary blade container, and I got to go to 2 different areas and get the bag that's on the other side of my desk because I just moved the bag when I came in. So I'll try to remember to set that up and see if it works better, because if it's going to take my stitching out like this one did, and it's partly how I sew. So I may not be a person that can use this type of stuff because I don't leave a long thread tail. And so it took my threads out, and I don't want to have to re-sew. But I'll try the other one before I'm not going to get rid of them. And I'll try it with another one. Oh my God, I got low battery up here. Oh my God, it popped up here, froze my screen because I got low battery. And so we will be ending here soon. I'm at 10% when it does that. I forgot to put the power cord in. So we made it 2 hours on this iPad on YouTube Live. That's pretty good. And she says, okay, so thanks, Sue. I'll try it. I'm going to put it together. I just don't have it put together, and I have to go to 2 different areas to get what I need to put in there. And I have to know, remember I pulled it out and couldn't even close the thing back up. So I need to read the instructions on how to use it. That would have taken too long. Ellen says, thank you so much, Teaquilts. I saw a Accuquilt thing link where they gave 99% off. They gave 99% off your second die. So you purchase the first die at regular price, you're getting 99% off the second die. And think about that. I've talked to you all about math. If you buy 2 dies that are the same price, that means you're paying 50% for one and 49% for the other. If you're buying a die where one die is, say, $125 die, and then you go buy a die that's $30, you're not getting 99% off. You're going to get 99% off of that one die, but you're not getting that 50% off if you had bought 2 dies almost the same price. So keep that in mind. I did a video on quilters. I forget how I worded that. Quilt discounts or something like that. I don't know how I worded that, because sometimes a sale really isn't a sale. You've got to think about numbers. And a lot of us quilters, we do the numbers when it's with our quilt blocks, and then we're kind of tired of numbers and we can't do the next set of numbers. But you got to know how you're spending your money. 99% off on your second die may not be a great deal if your first die costs $200 and your second die only costs $30. So I did quilters math for you all on that one time. Darcy. I finished the football section of the double vetting ring. Slow going, but I know the exact 1/4 inch now. It takes me a long time to find the way blocks like to be stitched. Laughing out loud. So good. I didn't know you was already working on it, girl. Kevin says he just finished clue 6. Woohoo! He says, thanks for being here to motivate me, Miss T. Let me know if you want me to help. Want me to come over tomorrow and help. Will do, sir. Good night, everyone, from Judy. We're going to be leaving here because we're like 8 minutes over, but I wanted to get through some of these chat comments. Renee says, I need to catch you when you first come on. Thought I had my notifications on. Love your smile and little giggle. Well, thank you. And if you're not getting notifications, just go out. And when you go out, unsubscribe, then resubscribe, and then hit the notification bell again. Sometimes if you're not, haven't been on the channel or dormant or something like that, maybe they're not giving it to you. Some people that come in here all the time say that they don't get them all the time. So just reactivate your account Renee, thank you so much. The live also gave special discounts for Accuquilt. Yes, I do know that because I've noticed sometimes, and they only last a certain period of time. Some of them last all day, and some of them only last to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time at the max. Sometimes it might be 1 p.m. is only while they're live. So, have you ever made a flannel quilt? I have a bunch of flannel need to be used. The only flannel quilt I've made has been the rag quilts. So I guess yes, I've made like about 7 flannel rag quilts. I I will piece flannel into my strings or blocks. I may not be a whole flannel piece, but I do that sometimes for texture. You're welcome, Patricia. I have several more Accuquilt dies, but can't get to my stuff. I have several Accuquilt dies, but can't get to my stuff. Yeah. You will like it, T. Okay, thanks, Sue. I'll try it. My brother saying good night, everyone. Stay safe. He's got prayers for everybody. Joyce says, Connie, I understand you want to use longer stitch length for flannel. I just use my regular. Ah, it's doing it again. Oh my goodness. How much power do I have? Hold on, guys. See if I can find. I got 5% now. So this is about to kick me off of here. We're not going to make it to the end. Hold on. It's going to be a little bumpy while I'm trying to one-handed plug this in. Hold on. Goodness gracious. The things we do for a live chat. Woohoo! And Diane says, laughing out loud, Kevin, you know T wants to do it all by herself. We'll determine that. Sue says, I had the same problem closing it at first, T. I love the fact that I can use used rotary blades. Yes. I always keep my used rotary blades because I do paper crafting, so I'm cutting paper with them. And I do have more than I need. And so I just compile them into a thing, and then eventually I'll just duct tape them into a plastic. I use one of the little Accuquilt cases, and then I'll duct tape that closed so the trash people don't get stuck with that kind of stuff. But I do keep them because of my paper crafting. All right. So I made it all the way to the bottom. Before the iPad here cuts off, I'm less than 5% at this point. So we're going to go ahead and end here, guys. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. I want everybody to, instead of thinking about the negative side of your situation, even when it's bad, think about the positive side of your situation. Like with Carissa being even hospitalized, at least her positive thinking could be, I'm getting some rest that I needed. I'm getting to think clearly. I'm getting some time to think without all this other stuff coming in and taking my focus away. Try to be positive in 2022 and see how things turn around for you. Don't come in and post the negative. Post something positive about your negative. So if you're posting something, tell me something else that's a good thing about it, or something that you can make a good thing from your situation. I always try to think, my situation could always be worse. So I'm thanking God for where I am at this point in my life. So just want everybody to be a little bit more mentally healthy as well. Think positive things and you shall have positive things. So stay safe, everybody. Be blessed and quilt out. Happy New Year.